Hamish Bidwell last updated 0855 November 5, 2017 Ve 5 makes a run for the All Blacks. Opinion New Zealand 31 Barbarians 22. It won't go down as a classic, but at least the All Blacks didn't lose. Apparently they learnt something from it, though. Boy, we hear that a bit these days, don't we? Not that there's a lot of evidence to suggest anything's been heated. These are unusual times for the national side, as they make the transition from one era to the next. John Mitchell might they called it a journey, and it's with him in mind that we begin this week's 5 All Blacks talking points. These are interesting times for head coach Steve Hansen and the All Blacks. Read more. AB's notch unimpressive win v Barbas. Recap All Blacks v Barbarians. Noah Luatu approves. Point v AB's player ratings. All Blacks NZ Maury too good for Canada. Wallabies romp past Japan. It's all in the destination. Ve 5 dives over to score for the All Blacks against the Barbarians. If the All Blacks play well at the 2019 Rugby World Cup, then head coach Steve Hansen will be lauded from one end of New Zealand to the other. No, that's not quite right. He'll need them to do more than play well. They'll have to win it. That's to do with how the team are performing this season. Poorly would be the easiest way to describe it. Hansen hasn't mentioned the word journey, but this team is definitely on one, and he'll continue to get away with saying this is a work in progress, provided they get there in the end. Barbarians flanker Stephen Luatu tries to bust the tackles of Scott Barrett, left, and Beauden Barrett. In the meantime, it's all become a bit like the New Zealand Warriors. We keep being told about how many young players there are and how much they're growing and how each experience, good or bad, is going to benefit them in the long run. Have faith, in other words. And that's fine, as long as it's rewarded. Same stuff, different day by my count. Sunday morning's NZT win at Twickenham was the All Blacks' 12th match of the year. They annihilated an average Samoa side and then played a good 80 minutes in the first test of the British and Irish Lions series. Since then, the first 40 minutes against Australia in Sydney, the 80 against the Springboks at Albany and the opening 40 against Argentina in Buenos Aires would rate as occasions when the team played to their potential. The rest of the time, they've been inaccurate and lacked composure and an ability to impose themselves on the opposition. The Barbarians, who were of good individuals but are on the international rugby equivalent of a pub crawl, should they been dispatched pretty comfortably. Instead, the All Blacks were guilty of the same failings that have typified their season. Same All Blacks failings again. Real basics like catching and passing and alignment were askew. The All Blacks back themselves to execute their skills under pressure, but, for the time being, they're not. Teams are rushing at them defensively and the response has been to shuffle passes, or dink kicks in behind or across to the wing. All were in evidence against the Barbarians, but rarely to good effect. The accuracy of the All Blacks' execution was one of its real strengths, particularly with Mick Byrne on the staff. Coincidence or not, things don't seem as slick now. AHES gone. Lock-in Romana lock Luke Romano was good again, a time when you wondered if his All Blacks days might be numbered. But, having been terrific in Buenos Aires, the 31-year-old's strength and work rate and smarts were an asset against the Barbarians as well. Second 5/8 Nani Laumapi and wingway Sake Naholo were others to enhance their reputation, while lock Scott Barrett and flanker Ve 5 enjoyed good moments too. For the Barbarians, flanker Stephen Luatu was prominent, but that's intercepts for you. He claimed a couple, and running in the open is always the fastest way to get noticed. But if people hoped others such as Julian Savea or Richie Munga and Dominic Bird were going to present compelling cases for All Black selection, then they might finish disappointed. Atu Molly went all right at tight head prop, though. Stuff.